One of the top pro pickleball athletes in the world, Anna Bright, has declared that she is single and ready to mingle, even publicly sharing that she has a Google form if you want to take this eligible bachelorette on a date. If you didn't catch the interview on Pickleball TV, you're going to want to see.
Pickleball.com says you are widely regarded as the top eligible bachelorette in professional pickleball. Also revealing that you have a dating application form for anyone interested in being your boyfriend. So I'm helping you out, sister. I'm giving you a bigger stage here on Pickleball TV. 6 days ago, it was actually reported by Victoria that you had attracted 40 responses. So
I got another 20 after that article, actually. So if you guys like pickleball.com, there's an article, there's a form. You can fill it out. I've gotten on like 2 dates from the form, so.
Do we have any front runners?
Oh my God. We might.
Perfect.
So of course, I had to follow up with AB herself and help sift through the candidates. I know you have like so many responses now to your dating form. How many do you have now?
Let's check. 367.
Oh my goodness. So what's it like sifting through?
I honestly haven't even really sifted through them too much. I haven't even it's like a job. It would be like a job to go through them at this point. And I have an assistant. I thought about putting her on it, but like she has enough to do. We might need to hire a new position to go through.
Like the matchmaker, dating analyst.
Yeah,
you know?
and just someone to filter through the responses for me because it's too much. It was like better, more manageable, and it was like a cute thing, and the guys had to like really work for it to find it. Now that I with pickleball.com with the interview, like we open the floodgates, it's kind of like it's too much.
So just to kind of help sift through then, what is the age bracket we're looking for?
Man, I don't know, right? I think so. I'm 26, so I think like no younger than 25. Like you got to be like close to me in age. And then as far as how old, it feels kind of like gross to say, but I can probably go into the upper 30s and it be reasonable, but it feels a little icky, but I think that's fine.
That's okay. Men mature more slowly than women anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm 26. I'm probably honestly on par with like a 40-year-old, but I just can't do it. A 4 is too much for me.
That's so fair. So tell me about like your preference when it comes to looks. Do you have a preference when it comes to like hair color, height, anything like that?
I do tend to prefer brunettes. Definitely a preference for brunettes, and definitely the 6 foot range is like amazing, but I'm not a six. I feel like I can overlook anything. If I like you, I can overlook anything, honestly. But that'd probably be like generally, I tend to like blue eyes. I have a preference for that. It's like my mother, whenever I tell my mom that I'm like talking to a guy, her first question is always like eye color. It's like her dream to have grandchildren with blue eyes because my eyes are actually like hazel. They have a good amount of green in them because my dad has blue eyes. So she's like one of her 3 daughters like needs to make it happen for her.
Wait, that's so good.
That's always her first question is eye color.
Eye color. Okay. Okay. And then what about DUPR rating? What's the lowest and the highest like DUPR you could go for?
Okay. If they play pickleball, I don't think I could go below 4.5. Honestly, 4.5 to 4.0 is fine, but we'll just say 4.5. 4.5 to 5.5 is fine. I don't really want you better than a 5.5. All right.
Okay.
We don't need to dabble. I don't need to dabble with more pros. And I definitely don't really need to dabble with guys who are like trying to be pro. That's just kind of like a weird dynamic. So I feel like 4.5 to 5.5, if you play pickleball, is great. If you don't play pickleball, that's fine too. If you just don't do it. But if you did, I need you to be able to be like a 3.5 in like a month or 2. Else you're just pretty unathletic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you don't play pickleball, that's fine, but we need to be pushing like that 3.5 level pretty quickly.
Okay, so they need to train with you then. They need to get their
Absolutely
their skills
not.
up.
They can go train elsewhere. I do enough. They can just not play at all, that's fine. But if they start playing and I just realize they have like very little athletic ability, they can't get to that 3.5 level pretty soon, I'm probably getting the ick. Because I'm trying to have athletic kids. If I have artistic or musically inclined kids, that's fine. I would totally figure it out. I'd support them 100%. But I would much rather be going to sporting events than sitting at a recital. And that's just me. That's just me. Support my kid, I'll do it. I'll watch the ballet, I'll do it. But I would rather have, kids more inclined to sports.
Definitely. That makes sense. It's kind of aligned with your career anyway.
It is what it is.
So what about profession? You said you don't care if they're in pickleball. Are you looking for the finance bro? Are you looking for a cowboy? Like, what's a trope you might be looking for?
Definitely not cowboy. Definitely not cowboy. A trope, I don't know, just someone who's like kind of a stud, honestly. I need a stud. I need someone who's like a go-getter, kind of getting things done, definitely with a bias for action. I'd say as far as field, it doesn't really matter too much, but I feel like I have so much. I feel like in the last year I've really picked up a lot of momentum in my life, and it's like I'm obviously playing pickleball really well, but I also have all these like work-related things and other things going on, and I'm taking on a lot, and I want a partner who is kind of a similar mindset, like someone who's taking on a lot.
Do you have any deal breakers?
Don't want someone who like sleeps in.
Okay.
That's
It
something
lines
I
with the
don't
go-getter.
that's something I don't really want. I've realized I don't really like that. A, it just feels like you're out of alignment. Like if I'm up like a couple hours before someone, it's also just like, what are you doing? Like you're a man, you have testosterone flowing through your veins. Get active. So I think that it's a complete deal breaker, maybe not, you could be later to me, but like that's something that I've realized I don't really like. And then just someone like they have to be like active, like whether you play pickleball or not, but like working out, like care about their health, care about their body, just because that's something really important to me. um but yeah, just someone who makes my life better, makes my life easier, you
Do you
know
have any icks?
the normal things. I mean, I have a lot of icks. I don't know, I think my biggest pet peeve is someone who like doesn't return a shopping cart. Like if a guy like didn't do that, I would just be like, okay, like this isn't gonna work. That would probably be just my biggest pet peeve in general. Other icks, I don't know. Nothing really come to mind that are, but nothing that I remember, but like I can get the ick. I can get the ick. I don't know. No good answer there. No good answer.
What kind of car do they need to drive?
I'm not a big car person.
Okay.
Don't really have a preference. My
Okay.
car, I have a Tesla, but man, I've beat that thing up and I don't care. Like, so I'm not really a car person. It doesn't really matter to me.
What's a positive thing that a guy could do to get your attention on this dating form you have?
Some of the responses are like they're trying to be super, super serious and deep. And that's like really sweet. And I like that. But I think finding that balance of like playful humor, because it is funny. Like what you're doing is objectively funny. Like you're filling out a dating application, like, so making light of it while also, injecting a little bit of your personality and, the deeper side. But the biggest question is like the description one for me is just, I think that one's like a really good filter because it's like a test of creativity and how good are you with words. And I swear, like, so I prompt them to say, Andrew Garfield describes Emma's shot of espresso being bathed in sunlight. Like 50 to 66% of the answers involve espresso or like the sun or sunlight. They just completely like,
They're
so
not
that's
creative.
not creative and just not like not thinking. So I'd say that's
Yeah.
one where I'm just like, okay, which is fine. These people don't know me, and that's totally fine. Some people also fill it out. They're like, well, I don't really know you, so, and I'm like, yeah, but be whimsical. Like, obviously you don't know me, but like, have some whimsy here. You're doing this. So I'd say that's something. And then another one is like, there's a question like, what's your ideal? What would be our first date? And the guys who are like, well, I'd love to beat you at pickleball, or I'm just like, shut up. That's not happening. And B, it's just you think like on my date with someone I don't know, I want to go play pickleball. No, no. So I'd say those are two things where I can pretty immediately be like, okay, no.
That's
Yeah.
so good. These are the best answers.
I know. Yeah. Another one is I have like a narcissism scale, like rate yourself narcissist. And I think a big thing to kind of look for when you're dating is you don't want someone who thinks in absolutes. Like someone who's like, I never do this. I always do this. I think that's kind of important. You want someone, it's important to be able to see like shades of gray. So people who just rate themselves as a one, it's like, okay, do you have no sense of self? Do you have absolutely no sense of self? I also have had a couple people who are like self-rating themselves like 8+. It's like, okay, bye.
Red flag.
Like self-awareness, I guess, but like that, I'll probably just choose to not engage at that point. So I think that's funny. That's a funny one. I think, the correct answer is probably to be somewhere in that mid-range. I'd probably put myself at like a 5 or a 6 there, which is higher than most people are putting on the form. The most common number is probably a 3, which I find interesting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, this is like my best idea. Like I had this idea And I like told a few people about it. I told Kate about it, and Kate said I was the most unhinged single person ever. And I was like, you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. Also, some of the guys, like, they seem nice and everything, but I haven't reached out just because they're geographically inconvenient and there's just no point, or like, so.
So ideally, would it be helpful if they either lived in South Florida, kind of near you, or, somewhere on a like tour stop?
South Florida, or like some guys have mentioned, they have like jobs that are flexible as far as travel arrangements go, which is kind of funny. But yeah, definitely more convenient to be closer. I've had a few people fill it out who actually like work at the club I train at, and I'm just like, oh God, I don't know about that. So I just pretend I haven't seen those.
Oh, you're just a girl. I love it so much.
I'm literally just a girl. Like, I'm actually literally just a girl. And this is just a fun, like little like side quest that I have going on. Like, there's like my actual like dating life kind of, then there's like the dating forum, and there's a little bit of crossover, but they're kind of like separate things. And it's really funny. It's very
It's so funny. And you never know. It actually could be
You never
a
know.
hit.
You
It
never
could
know.
work.
Because I was on a dating app for like a week, and I got ghosted by a guy I was like excited about. Like, we had a date, set up a day, and I just didn't hear anything. Blocked him on everything, deleted the app, and I was just like, I'm over this. And then I got, you read the backstory and everything, like the YouTube comment, and then I was like, you know what? Like, screw like me trying to have to like make a guy like me. Like, the guy should like me. Like, I'm a stud, So then I was like, I'm making this freaking Google form. Fill it out if you want my attention. So there's like, I've gone on a couple of dates like from the form, and it was actually like guys that I had actually been talking to and were like interested and who asked me out. And I was like, actually, there's a form for that. And then I sent them a link to the form. I'm just putting them through hoops. I am putting them through hoops.
Well, because they should work, especially like you were saying, you want an ambitious guy. He's
They
got to
used
be.
to go to war.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good. If he's willing to at least do that, we're
Yeah,
already moving in the right
we're
direction.
moving in the right direction. You have a sense of humor about it. You're gonna, you'll type for 10 minutes. Maybe you'll think a little bit. Just be a little creative, be a little creative there.
Well, thank you so much. This was so great.
Perfect. Amazing. Just felt like girl talk, honestly. So that was
Honestly,
fun
yeah.
to do.
Scan the QR codes on your screen to follow pickleball.com on Instagram. Go straight to our website to read more about pickleball's most eligible bachelorette, or find a PPA Tour stop near you to see the best pros like Anna Bright play live and in person.